She found the camera on a Tuesday. It was small, tucked behind a picture frame on their dresser, angled toward the bed. When she confronted her husband about it, he didn't apologize. He didn't deny it. He said, "I didn't ask because I knew you'd say no." This is how she ended up writing a post on Reddit at 2 a.m, asking strangers if she was losing her mind. She wasn't, but it took 3 years to get to that camera, and it started with something that seemed harmless. She's in her 40s, married, 3 teenage kids, by all appearances a regular suburban family, the kind of house where the biggest argument is about whose turn it is to take out the trash. About 3 years ago, she noticed her husband had gotten into a very specific kind of adult content. Without going into graphic detail, the premise is that a husband shares his wife with other men, usually while he watches. She told him, clearly, that she wasn't into it, and he said, "Don't worry about it. It's just a fantasy." And she believed him. Why wouldn't she? Couples have different interests all the time. One person is into something the other isn't. They talk about it. The other person says, "Not for me," and they move on. That's how it's supposed to work. 3 years later, he's still asking. And the word she uses to describe it isn't occasionally or sometimes. The word she uses is incessant. Every single time they're intimate, every time, he brings it up. He asks her to try it. He begs. And when she says no, the same no she's been saying for 3 years, he gets angry. He wants to know why she won't do just this one thing for him. Just this one thing. That phrase is going to come back later. Remember it. He started sending her photos while she was at work, explicit images of random men, no warning, no context, just her phone buzzing in the middle of a meeting, and when she checks it, a graphic nude from a stranger with a message from her husband. What about this one? She ignored them. Didn't respond, didn't engage. A pretty clear signal by anyone's standards. He started sitting next to her on their bed, the bed they share, and pulling up dating profiles, explicit ones, full of strangers, and he'd scroll through them with her, pointing at the screen, saying, "Pick one, come on, just pick one." He'd keep going until she either started crying or got angry enough to yell at him, and then he'd act frustrated, like she was the one making this difficult. And there was another thing. He would find adult content featuring women who looked like her, same body type, similar appearance, and he would show it to her and say, See how much she's enjoying it? Why can't you be like that?" Think about what that does to a person. Not once, but over and over for years. Your husband shows you another woman's body and asks why you can't be more like her. Your husband turns every private moment into a negotiation you never agreed to. Your husband treats your no not as a boundary, but as a starting position to be argued down. 3 years of this. 3 years of saying the same word, no, and having it treated like it means not yet. But she was about to find out that the asking was only the beginning, because what happened next wasn't pressure anymore. It was something else entirely. When she kept saying no, when she refused to bend, refused to cave, refused to perform enthusiasm she didn't feel, he stopped asking nicely. He yelled at her, called her names. She doesn't list them all in her post, just says all sorts of insults. He threatened to go out and cheat on her. He told her he'd kick her out of their home, the home where their 3 children live. The message was clear. Saying no has consequences. Cooperate or lose everything. He started recording her, intimate moments, without telling her, without asking. When she found out, he told her he wouldn't post the videos anywhere. But then he said something that she wrote down word for word. He said, "Everybody should get to see you." Read that again. He's already recording her without her knowledge. And now he's telling her that other people deserve access to those recordings. He frames it like a compliment, like he's admiring her. But what he's actually doing is telling her, very calmly, that what he's captured doesn't belong to her anymore. She pleads with him. He tells her he won't share them. She has no way of knowing if that's true. And then she found the camera, hidden behind a picture frame on their bedroom dresser, pointed at the bed. She doesn't say how long it had been there. She doesn't know. When she confronted him, he didn't panic. He didn't apologize. He didn't even pretend to be sorry. He said, "I didn't ask because I knew you'd say no." Let that sentence sit for a moment. I didn't ask because I knew you'd say no. That is not the logic of someone who made a mistake. That is someone telling you, calmly and clearly, that your answer was already irrelevant to them, that your consent was a formality they decided to skip. And she's still there, still in that house, still married to that man. And before you ask the question that's forming in your head right now, she answers it herself. She writes, "I'm scared to leave him. I keep hoping this will get better. We have kids. I just don't want to give up." 3 teenagers who need stability, a life she built over years, the terrifying math of starting over in your 40s. And underneath all of that, the quiet, corrosive thought that maybe it's not really that bad. Maybe she's overreacting. Maybe if she just tried harder, or cared less, or said yes one time, it would stop. She says her self-esteem is in the toilet. She cringes when he touches her. She wrote something that, out of everything in this post, might be the most revealing line of all. She wrote, "I think I'm going insane." She's not going insane. She's having a completely sane reaction to a situation that is designed to make her doubt herself. 3 years of being told your feelings are wrong, your boundaries are unreasonable, and every other woman would say yes. That doesn't make you crazy. It makes you exhausted. The last line of her post is this: "He sees nothing wrong with his behavior. He's not going to wake up and change. He doesn't think there's anything to change. In his mind, she's the obstacle. She's the problem. And as long as that's true, this only goes in one direction." There's a reason this story feels so heavy. There's a reason it builds the way it does, slowly, suffocatingly, one small escalation at a time. And there's a reason she never once uses the word abuse in her entire post. What she's describing has a name. It's called coercive control. Coercive control is a form of domestic abuse that doesn't require a single act of physical violence. It's a pattern, a slow, grinding campaign designed to erode someone's ability to say no, to trust themselves, to believe they deserve better. And it works because it's so gradual that the person living through it can't see where it started.